Okay, what's the hardest technique to teach?
Streamer fishing.
I guess you're right, Dave.
Requires way more casting ability, way more understanding of what's going on with your fly line.
What is streamer fishing?
Streamer fishing, you're going to see in a minute here, but it's where you're trying to imitate a small fish and
Below the surface.
below
now.
the surface, and you have to get a swing. And in order to get a swing, you have to understand the river. If the river's really fast there, you have to throw more downstream. If it's slower, you have to throw more across. And I can't constantly tell people throw it at that angle. They have to be able to understand that themselves. It has to be intuitive. And they have to be able to land their line consistently. And then they also have to make that thing look alive when it's coming around on the swing, which is the hardest part.
And it's really the technique, the business of streamer fishing. You know, typically the first guy starting out, and I'm in a good example, it's a little scary because you're casting, you have a heavier rod, a heavier line, a much heavier fly. It's a different technique. And, you know, Dave taught me how to do it, and that's the only thing now, as he calls it, the tug is the drug.
Right.
Because when you're streamer fishing, you don't see the fish hit it. You feel it. It's this tug. And typically streamer, you're fishing with a big fly, and when the fish hit it, they aren't twinks. They're usually big fish, and they just whack it hard and almost to the point where they can yank the rod right out of your hand. As we call it, as Dave calls it, the tug is the drug.
Right.
Yeah. It's all about understanding the flow, being able to look at the water and read the water and know where you need to drop your line.
Well, Dave, there aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a handful of guides. Maybe 3 guides that I know of that can effectively row a boat to effectively streamer fish.
And it's a team operation.
It's probably the most partnership arrangement in fishing there is, guide fishermen. Because if you don't know what the heck you're doing, I mean, it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen.
I mean, I know when it lands whether it's gonna work or not.
Yeah, right.